Hello, my name is Dan Johnson and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be unboxing the new Character Options online exclusive, which is the second Doctor and the Tardis from the Abominable Snowmen. Now, for a bit of context, I was sitting in the living room about 10 o'clock a couple of days ago, Tuesday morning let's say, and I was sitting there waiting in a queue with a lot of other people to try and buy this set. Basically, the online exclusives are a thing that they do occasionally. They did it previously with movie Daleks, and today they're doing this set. And they've said that there's not going to be another sculpt of this. You know, it's a buy it now or miss out kind of scenario. Apparently there was enough stock, but there's no way of actually telling whether you've got enough stock, because obviously they want to sell every single one. But once I got through all of that, the slow internet, it hit 10 o'clock and the whole thing basically grounded to a halt. Once I got past the slow internet and actually was able to check out, I thought I'd have to wait to the 2nd of August to get this thing to actually arrive. In fact, I kind of based my next few videos over the idea that it was coming out on the 2nd of August. So this is going to be interesting to see where this fits in. But it's currently 2 days after I pre-ordered it. And the thing, like I said, it wasn't supposed to arrive till August. Well, they've shipped them out anyway and they're arriving on people's doorsteps as we speak. And I just wasn't expecting it. So it's such a nice surprise. The box is slightly different this time to the ones that they've done before. The window does feel bigger. And of course, I think the biggest change is the fact that we now have a bird's eye view of the figure and TARDIS. On the back we have an image of the set along with a kind of blurb about the Abominable Snowman, obviously a missing story, featuring this jacket, which I can't wait to see in person. The back feels like it's going to come apart quite quickly, which I'm sure it will, because I feel like I had to keep holding it in order to stop it. But overall, the box is nice and slick and looks pretty cool. Obviously, it says in the corner there, which just occurred to me that the focus is on me, not on there. Then it does say online exclusive, character online exclusive. And I did always think it was such a big shame with the last box set that came out, the movie Daleks, that I missed out. I hesitated, I think, for a few days, just because I just felt like I don't know whether I really needed them. I had enough Daleks. I was like, do I really want to buy it? And then I saw people's appearing on their doorsteps, and they were buying them, obviously, from ones that they've bought. And I was a bit jealous, and I would have loved some movie Daleks. So as I'm just taking the tape off, so I've kind of got a slightly distracted mind at the minute. But I was just super excited to get it, so I did wait and really made sure that I had this, like, with proper precision, made sure that I had this one in the bag. But it does feel weird to have it actually arrive only 2 days after I pre-ordered it. But if we crack open the box, which is now open, and then for the grand reveal. Well, hey. That's interesting. Normally these things have yes, I always forget now. When I was a kid, it was very simple to unbox these things. I mean, it was complicated, let's say, but they used to have bits of plastic that you would just spin, and that would be how you freed your figures. Nowadays, you don't just have to do that at the back here, but then you have to also unscrew screws to get the TARDIS out. Why? I went and I untied the bands, and then I untied the screws. There's 2 of them. And then I got rid of this really annoying band that wraps around the TARDIS for some reason as well. Got rid of all of that, and then took the figures out. But let's just take a moment to look at the box itself. So it's a nice little escape there from the story, more or less. There is a little Yeti that's been photoshopped into the shot as well, which is nice. There's also like a button here. I don't know how well that's going to show up on camera, but there's a button thing there. I'm not quite sure where the button as far. I'm trying to work out how it actually represents anything, or like practically how it does anything for the set. It must hold the TARDIS in place or something. Stops it from touching the side, rubbing against the side, perhaps. I'm not quite sure. But there's a little cardboard sleeve. Sadly, it's not really enough for a really good diaphragm because it's covered in holes from where all the stuff has come out, which is a shame because I like the covers, like the ones that they do for the Dalek sets, the history of the Dalek sets. When you take the Daleks out, you have an actual background because you've got no holes in it. You know, nothing, no ties go across the Daleks to hold them in place. It's just like a piece of plastic, and then you remove the plastic and you've got the diagram. The diorama. So I suppose that, have I been saying diagram all this time? So I suppose that's a bit of a drawback, but it's not too bad. So let's move on to the set itself. Personally, I am super excited to see this figure. I think that the sculpt is absolutely gorgeous. There is so many little details within this coat, you know, lots of little marks of fur, etc. Just looks amazing. I love the way it feels. It feels like it's a really good chunky figure, and the likeness to Patrick Troughton is incredibly high. This is also a figure from the the Five Doctors, something that they've said they would not make neither. So if you want to get this figure, the only time you can get it is in this set, at the minute anyway. The joints are quite easy to move. The legs move a little bit, but I mean it's restricted by the coat, obviously, because they can't, you know, he can't kick his legs up when he's got a long coat on. But I love the little details in like the hands, and they've even gone to the effort of painting in the reds around his eyes. I don't know if Patrick Troughton really had much red around his eyes, but they've tried to do the best that they could to try and make some definition in the figure so it didn't look completely like a maniac. Honestly, I just think it looks amazing. It's definitely the coolest Second Doctor figure I have. I only have two. Now if we take a look at the TARDIS, lovely little design for the TARDIS. Love the weathering and all that kind of stuff that they've done to it. But at the end of the day, it is just your regular TARDIS set at the bottom, as you can see. Now these are where things have really changed, because when I was younger, am I getting really old? When I was younger, there was no button on the bottom. It was, if you wanted the electric TARDIS to work, you'd hit the doors back, and then once you hit the doors back, that would set off the TARDIS to go, you know, to the sound effects and all that. But none of that happens anymore. But obviously, I think I also need to point out that there is nothing inside of the TARDIS. If someone can direct me to where I can actually print off insides of TARDISes, like a Second Doctor one, a Fifth Doctor one, Fourth Doctor one, etc. Like, that would be really cool, because that would mean that I can actually put dioramas inside of the TARDISes instead of using, you know, opening up a door and then seeing the reflection of the back window. Although that is what it looks like in the show itself sometimes. So I think I've muddled the doors up. There we go. But obviously, let's go back to the actual sound effects. So when I was younger, the doors would be the thing that would set it off. But nowadays, there's a switch just here, which is very big now. I remember when I was younger, you used to really fiddle with it to really get it to move, but now you don't. It's nice and big. And there's a button here, so if I do this... I don't know how well that's coming across on camera, but it is currently flashing. Hopefully that will stop in a minute or two. Speaker, obviously, back here, but in terms of sound, I don't know how well it came across in the video, but obviously the microphone's like right here. It's a bit tinny, but what do you really expect from character? They're very small speakers, they're not really providing the best sound, and that's not really what their design is to do. It's designed for playing with, etc. I'm going to turn the thing off so that the light doesn't keep going, because I don't know when it's going to stop. But overall, this TARDIS is absolutely lovely, and with the figure as well, I think that it's just a lovely set. I'm not sure whether it's worth the £40 that it's retailed for, though. I mean, we can get regular Doctor and Tardis sets for about 20 quid. I don't know, maybe they're about 25, but I think they're about 20 quid. And I think that they are just as good as this one. So you're getting some nice variants, I suppose, on figures, etc. But you're not really getting a lot more for the 20 quid extra that you're paying if it was just a regular set, if that makes sense. But obviously it's lovely. Maybe the price of the electric TARDIS is the thing that bumps it up. But for me, I think that, well, the standard ones already have the electric stuff, like capabilities. Like there's literally a speaker on those ones. How much would it really cost them to put another speaker in there and then charge 20 quid extra when it's the same model that they would use generally? I'm unsure whether 40 quid was exactly worth the price on this, but I'm very happy to have it. So I suppose that it was worth 40 quid at the end of the day. But thank you very much for watching. Hopefully you did enjoy this video. If you did, make sure you give it a like, subscribe if you're new, and I shall see you soon. Goodbye. From what